gentle bow to the heart, and it's trusting in our bodies, our practice, that we were made for these times. And then inhale, gently lift the head, and we'll open the eyes and exhale. Let's just place the left hand over to the left and inhale the right arm up and over. And just get a little bit of stretch in your side body, rooting down through your right sitting bone. Yeah. And then inhale, back up and exhale over to the right. Couple of breaths. And inhale, come back up, and let's take the hands back behind, and then root down through the sitting bones, lift the chest and curl back. So you want to find that support in the neck, right? So we're not just letting it hang back. So we slide the chin back, slide the corners of the mouth back towards the ears, open up the back of the skull. Take a big breath into the heart space. Good, and then exhale, release, and let's come over onto our hands and knees, and we'll come into a puppy pose here. So stretch the arms out long, bring the knees just underneath the hips. And if you can, rest the forehead on the floor, otherwise just keep it floating. We'll just spread open the fingers, wake up the hands, and just feel the connection of the hands, especially the root of the index finger, all the way up to the heart space. Inhaling and exhale. And as though your armpits were little sails, we're just going to catch a little wind under the armpits, draw the shoulder blades down a little bit more, and then soften the heart. Last breath or two here. Great. And then inhale, coming up, let's walk the hands over to the right. Yeah, and just feel that nice opening through the left side of your body. Just playing with the movement of the sitting bones, especially that left sitting bone. And then inhale and exhale, we'll walk over to the left. And keep steadying your breath. So finding equanimity in your breath, even breaths. Coming back to that sweet middle between the breaths. Great, and then inhale. We'll come back to center, and let's turn the hands, fingers towards the knees here. So we'll get a little stretch in the forearms. So whenever we're working shoulders and head and neck, I always like to get into the arms as much as possible. So you can bend the knees, bend the elbows a little bit, and then slide your hips back. So you get a nice stretch in the forearms. Hi, it's okay, come on in, yeah. Great. And then inhale, coming back up, and let's bring the feet together, the knees together, and we'll sit back on our heels. Yeah, so just do your best. If you need to, come a little forward. And then we're gonna take the arms straight out in front of us, and we'll cross the right. You're gonna turn your palms out and cross the right over the left, so gripping the hands. And then we'll bring the hands through. And I love this, Jeannie, you just brought it here. I usually go all the way and it's intense. So, and I do this a lot because I'm a body worker. So you can just feel where the right place is for you. It might be just close up. Good. And then we'll stretch the arms out again and just do 2 or 3 of those and just go right to your edge. You're getting into the interosseous membrane here in the center of the forearm, which is really good to open up for head and neck stuff. Great. And then we'll switch. So left hand over right. Good. And then coming through, and you just come to your edge. It might be close in, it might be stretched out. And then go back and forth a few times. Yeah. And last one. Great. And then release. And then we're going to do this forearm stretch again. So we'll take a hold of the right fingers and just do a little stretch with your forearms. Yeah. Good for the computers, good for the body workers. If you cook a lot. Good. And then other hand. Probably feeling your toes a little bit too. Great. And then release. And let's reach back and interlace the hands. And we'll lift up through the chest. And then exhale, come forward. So actually at this point, you can untuck the toes and come forward into a bit of a child pose. Yeah, looping the shoulders back. Let the hands go towards the floor. And good. Then inhale, come on up. And we're just going to do one little exercise here for I am totally spacing the name of the vagal nerve. So you're going to just hands on the chest here, and you're going to pull the fascia, that first layer of fascia you're going to feel into just beneath the skin. And you're going to just pull slightly down on that fascia. Okay, and then we're going to let the left ear, we're going to turn the head to the left, and then let the right ear pull up like there's a little balloon floating the right ear up towards the sky. And you'll go to that first stretch and just take a nice deep breath in. Pausing at the top, and then a full breath out. Good, and then inhale, come back to center, and then we'll turn the head to the right. And as though there's a little balloon, lifting your left ear up, a little helium balloon, lifting it up, go to that first stretch, take a big breath in. And a full breath out. Great, and then inhale, come on up, and just release your hands and take a breath here. So you might feel a little sense of calmness when you release that vagus nerve. And then let's go ahead and come forward, and we'll come into a couple of cat-cow stretches. Inhale, open the chest, arch the back. Exhale, curl and round. And find your own pace here. Inhaling, we'll do about 3 or 4 more. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to neutral. Tuck the toes under. We'll slide our hips back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And just take this first dog pose and move and stretch and sway, opening up your joints. So we can come into this place of trust, trusting in our bodies, right? We've been practicing all these things that we need to put into action right now. Like trust, love, equanimity, the middle path, that resilience. Wake up the extremities here, the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes. Good, and then inhale, slide your chest forward into plank pose. Exhale, knees to the floor, Ashtanga Pranam. So actually, let's go into that full Ashtanga Pranam with the butt high. It's good for the throat and neck. And then slide your way into a baby cobra. So we'll just come in without using the hands for a moment. Move the shoulders back and lengthen the back of your neck as you come forward. And all 10 toes are waking up here, gripping and plugging in. And then exhale the hands down and inhale one full breath into cobra. And exhale all the way down, and we'll slide back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you can always do the half dog pose. And take another deep breath, full breath in here. And follow the exhale all the way out. Look to the hands, and we'll either hop or step forward, your choice. Inhaling And feet are just a little bit apart. Inhale, halfway up, exhale, fold. And then leading with your heart, inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky, touch the palms, and exhale, take the hands right down the center line. Great. And then, do you guys all have you probably have a wall you can work with. So we're gonna do a little wall work because, again, Jeannie inspired me the other day and it felt so good on my shoulders and neck. So you can come to the wall, right? Any wall is good. And you can even use a door if you don't have a clear wall. So you're gonna stand parallel to the wall, take the hand back at about 2 o'clock, and you can either be on the outer wrist or place your hand flat, okay? And you'll just start here with the hips parallel, and then root down through the legs and lift up through the chest and just look slowly off to the right. I'm gonna keep the shoulders rolling, sliding back and down as you breathe. And as you feel the opening, you can go a little deeper if you like, maybe turning the toes out a little bit, maybe taking the hand back to 3 o'clock. And eyes are soft, just breathing. It's so good, isn't it? I love this. It's like doing your own body work. Good, you guys. And then exhale, release, and we'll turn around to the other side. So find that first edge for you. Good, Tara. And breathe. So we're rolling, the right shoulder blade is gliding down the back as the chest lifts up and over to the left. Back to your breath. Equanimity in your breath. Equanimity in your stance too. And go a little further if that feels good. Yeah. Good, and then gently release it. And let's go ahead and take a wall dog here. So if you have a piece of furniture, you can always put your hands on the dresser or something. And just find that nice L-shaped wall dog. And then on the in-breath, we float the armpits up. And on the out-breath, we glide the shoulder blades down as the heart melts. Listen to your breath. And take one more breath here. Inhale. And exhale the breath out. And then we'll walk the feet in. And then let's come back to our mats. Yeah, this is kind of nice. So let's come to the front of our mats here. And you can bring your feet either together, big toes touching, or slightly apart with the feet. And then we're going to take the hands onto the sacrum, fingertips pointing upward. And you'll root down through your legs and lift up through the side body and open. So just go slow here. Just make sure not to push your hips forward. And we just want to think of this length up through the front of the spine. Beautiful, you guys. And then take another big breath in. It's opening to that freedom up through the front of the spine. And then on the exhale, we're going to walk the hands down the back of the legs, just rubbing the hamstrings and calves as you come into forward fold. Give your legs a little squeeze up and down. Yeah. Great. And then inhale, let's look up. We'll scoop the feet a little closer. Step the left leg back into a lunge and we'll bring our back knee to the floor. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, crescent lunge. And exhale, it sweeps back. We're gonna keep switching the clasp of the hands. Okay, so you'll take the opposite clasp that you did last time. Yeah, and then root down through the hips and start to lift up through the chest, up through the sides of the waist. And again, keep the chin just slightly down. So we want to think of that hyoid bone here, which is kind of right around the Adam's apple. You want to think about gliding that bone back. So there's support in the neck. And then exhale, release. And we'll place our left hand down, right arm up to the sky. Take a nice twist. Yeah. So work with your breath here. On the in breath, get a little more space, expansion. And the out breath, turn, soften. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, release your hands. Let's pick up the back leg and walk over and turn the feet parallel. Good, inhale here. And come center into the feet. And then on the exhale, walk the hands. Hey. Yeah, I love this pose to warm up. Feels so good. So here we can even work that shoulder direction, drawing the elbows into the armpits and then rolling the shoulders down as the head relaxes. Good. Inhale, walk the hands out. Exhale, let's walk to the back of our mats. Turn the left foot out and come down onto the back knee. And then we'll inhale, sweep the arms up. This time, let's take a different arm position. So we'll clasp the hands behind the head. Yeah, good. So you're cupping the back of the head. And you can work the shoulders here. Roll the shoulders back, lift up through the sternum. And find just a little resistance with your head pressing into your hands. 2 more breaths, inhale. Exhale, 1 more inhale. And then on the exhale, release your hands, place your right hand down, left arm up to the sky. And stay with your breath. Good, inhaling. And then on the exhale, release your hand, lift the back knee, and we'll walk back over to the right. Again, pausing here. Good, finding the center of the feet, inhale. And then exhale, we'll walk in. And soften the soles of the feet. So toes are spreading, but not overly spreading. Right? And find the balance of softness in the feet, like receptivity. And be able to feel and sense through the feet. And then we'll inhale, walk the hands out. Exhale, let's walk back to the front of our mat. Slide back to down dog. Just walk the feet, walk the knees out, walk your dog out. Great. And we'll inhale, come up onto the toes, slide the chest forward, lower the hips. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, or knees to the floor. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Good. Exhale, lower. And press right back again, downward facing dog. And just take a couple of breaths here. Follow your next breath to the very tail end. Look up between the hands, hop or step. Have some fun hopping if you want. Inhale, exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. And plug the feet in. Inhale, lead with your heart, radiate the arms up overhead. Exhale, the hands come right to the heart center. Let's just close our eyes for a moment here and find that equal standing, the equanimity. So just notice in your body, even like where you maybe overdo or over effort, and just see if you can find a little balance, maybe front to back, maybe rooting to rise. Where's that middle ground? Even in your mental state, notice if you're overworking, overthinking. And just come back, ride your attention on your breath. Inhale, take a big breath. Good, and on the exhale, we'll release the arms to our sides, open the eyes. Inhale, take it through some sun salutes. Look up, exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway lift, straight spine. Exhale, step or hop right to plank. Inhale here, exhale, lower chaturanga dandasana. Slide your way through to either cobra or up dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing. And coming back to your breath. Relax your face, smile a little bit. And then bend the elbows here just slightly. You can even look up a little bit towards your hands to get that length in the sides of your waist. And then we want to squeeze the bottom tips down and in as we straighten the arms. Full stretch in your arms. And deep breathing, ujjayi breath. See if you can listen, trust your body, trust the wisdom. And take one more big in-breath. And follow the exhale to the tail end, hop or step. Inhaling. Halfway lift. Exhale. Uttanasana, bow. Plug in the feet. Inhale. Sweep the arms wide and up. And exhale. Samastitihi. And we'll just ride the very next inhalation. Arms sweep up overhead. Exhale like you're swimming. Nice warm water. Hold. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, step or hop. And coming right through chaturanga. And then slide your way to cobra or up dog. Heart open. Exhale. Pull back. Great. How's your wrist, Tara? Yeah. Okay, good. Great. So we're just going to finish out one more breath here. Inhaling and exhale all the breath out. Look between the hands. Step or hop. Inhaling halfway left. And exhale, Uttanasana. Plug in those four corners of your feet. Inhale with your heart. Radiate the arms up and over. Exhale, hands to the heart. And let's bring our hands back again and we'll take this nice heart opener here. So root down through the legs, lift up through the heart. Good, and then exhale again, bring the hands down the backs, just little squeezes down the legs, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, straight spine, long spine. And then exhale, right leg back. And we'll bring that back knee down. And then let's come into a half Hanuman here. So we'll straighten out the front leg and slide your knee back. So it's right underneath your hip. How are we doing out there? How are you guys doing? Good, okay. Yeah. So kind of like you're out in your garden, you're gonna imagine you're just digging that heel and digging the earth towards you. That's gonna activate the hamstring. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the belly, and exhale. Walk out a little further if you can. And just go into that first edge, breathe. Meet your body with presence this morning. Good, back of the neck softens. Take one more breath here, inhale. And exhale, good, and then we'll inhale, come back to a lunge. And then let's lift the back knee off the floor and inhale, sweep the arms up, crescent lunge. Yeah, square off the hips, drop the tail towards the earth. And from Mula Bandha Uddiyana Bandha, you're gonna lift up, look to the thumbs and radiate. You're gonna have this, try to find this sense of resilience inside. Is that your word, Jeannie? Resilience or unwavering? So unwavering. Yeah, so in the face of all this adversity, can we find our unwavering warrior energy? Inhale, one more breath, curl back. Good, exhale, bow forward. Place the right hand down. We'll take another twist here. Open it up nice and big. We know that the practice is working for us when we don't get pulled to both sides, right? So much. When we can just be a little bit more of an observer. And that's not easy in these times at all. Good. So inhale, one more breath. Exhale, hands come down and we'll slide back. And you can work through either to downward dog or move through a vinyasa. Good. And to downward dog we'll meet. And just find a few breaths here. Feel free to work your jaw a little bit. Notice any tension and just let it go. A little lemon lime with the face is always nice. And then we'll step the right foot forward, bring the back knee down to the floor and come into our half Hanuman. And sliding the hips back. Dig the heel in, yeah. And then we'll inhale, lift from the belly up to the heart and exhale, walk it out. You may be able to walk your hands quite a bit out and just see, let's find your sweet edge here and breathe. Yeah, good, good. Relax your face, your jaw. You can feel the connection of that whole back line of fascia from your heel up to the lumbar. It's really cool if you tune in. Great. And then inhale, come back to a lunge, lift the back knee off the floor. And then just tap into that sort of unwavering energy inside for a moment. Let's see if you can tap in through your body, plugging in deeply from the pelvis into the legs, feet, and then inhale. From that plugging in, you rise up. You rise up, you can face what's here in front of you. Yeah. You face what's right here in your life, right? Good. Curl back, last couple of breaths. Open the throat, the smile. Good, and then exhale, bow forward, left hand down, right arm up to the sky. We open, we stand and we open to what's in front of us, right? Even if it's just in our relationship or our work. Open to it with love. One more breath, inhale, big heart. Good, exhale, release the hands, slide back, plank pose, inhale, and exhale. You can either do downward dog, child's pose, or move through vinyasa. So you decide. And exhaling. Good, and we'll take about 5 breaths in downward dog, just listening, or child's pose. Yeah. Relax your face, relax the tension in your face, particularly around the jaw, the forehead, the shoulders. See if you can feel the deeper support here of your skeleton. So when we line up the joints, the skeleton we have support there. Okay, and so then we'll finish our next breath. Look between the hands and playfully hop or step. Inhaling. Good, exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, leading with your heart, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Palms touch, exhale. Just go ahead and brush the third eye, throat. Hands come to the heart, take a moment, close your eyes. Come back to your breathing. And see if you can come back to this idea of equanimity and middle. Right? So we feel the balanced action in the body, front to back, down to up, in to out. And then emotionally too, can we find that equanimity? Yeah. Great, and then let's let the eyes open. Bend the knees, we'll sweep the fingertips along the floor. Utkatasana. In fact, let's reach back with the hands and open up the sitting bones wide. Yeah, big pelvic floor widening and opening. And then we'll keep that, drop the tail towards the heels and inhale the arms up by the ears. Yeah. So just to start with, you'll look down and you'll feel that nice opening through the back of the skull. Great, sink a little bit lower. And then inhale, straighten, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up with the heart. And exhale, step our right leg back, turn the back foot to the floor. So the foot's turned about 45 degrees out, and inhale, come on up. And let's take Virabhadrasana 1. Yeah, and you can clasp, sometimes I like to clasp the hands, and let the index finger go up. It can feel a little bit more stabilizing in the shoulders. So you just see what works for you. And let your shoulders drip down as the chest lifts up. Eyes are soft, want to smile. Yes. Good, exhale, we'll open it up, Virabhadrasana 2. So you can open that back foot a little bit more. Yeah, turn the gaze off the fingers. So this is the pose, right? This is the pose of unwavering steadiness. So this is what we've been practicing for these times we're in right now. We've got to practice. Not everybody does. How lucky are we, right? So last breath or two here. And can you relax a little in the joints? Find the softening, the soft power within. Right hand back, lift the left arm up. So for the shoulders, you can either keep it here, or if you want to go a little deeper, take a hold of your left wrist. Yeah. And the gaze eventually looks up. And if you really try to straighten that left arm, you can get a little more stretch in the side. Excellent, you guys. And then we'll come back to Vira 2. And then we'll go either through a vinyasa, or you're just going to walk back to down dog. Your choice. Great. And then we'll meet on the other side. So we're going to step the right foot forward, turn the back foot down. Yeah, so back foot turns in 45 degrees to begin with for Virabhadrasana 1. So we root down, we stabilize, yes, through the pelvis, good. So from the pelvis, you're rooting down through the legs into the earth, and then you're rising. Yeah, good, beautiful. Find that inner warrioress inside. It's unwavering in its commitment, in its determination, dedication to staying the course. Good. Tara, bend your knee a little bit more, tiny bit, your front knee a little more, can you? Yes, there we go. Beautiful. And then we open it right up to Vira 2. So what's required of you on the inner to be a warrior? Is it just facing your partner in a way that you are terrified of? Isn't that funny? Is it standing up to your boss, or you're hanging out in a new country and trying to find your way? Yes. Not easy. Inhale, open it up to reverse the warrior. And you take your version here. You can take a hold of your wrist. Yes, good, everyone. And then on the exhale, just gonna windmill the arms back into down dog. Good work, everyone. Inhale into plank pose, and exhale, let's lower all the way down onto the ground and just place your forehead down. Let's take the arms out to the side, just palms down. Take your arms wide and just take a moment here. Breathe. Good, and then we'll bring the palms about halfway in, come up onto the fingertips and find that TP position in your hands, and then take a couple of little shoulder loops here, shoulder circles, until you feel the shoulder blades come down the back. Plug all 10 toes in and inhale, rise up. I'm just gonna come up here, softening the heart. And you wanna try to draw the sternum towards the front of the mat as the shoulders slide down. Eyes are soft, looking down. Exhale, lower down. Good, hands by the chest. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale, we'll just press right back to down dog. And let's come into our puppy pose. So this time, if you want to come a little deeper, here you can again come up onto the fingertips for the TP, the finger hands, and just work a little bit more in the shoulders. So yeah. Melting the heart. Breathing deeply. Good, and then we're going to inhale, walk up onto all fours, and exhale. Let's take the left leg out to the side here. Yeah, so you're gonna, and your foot is parallel to the mat. Yeah, can you guys see okay? And then we'll inhale the left arm out. And so same arm goes out. And then on the exhale, you're gonna take your left arm through and thread the needle here. Yeah. And breathe. Yeah, so you can come up onto your right fingertips to get a little more of the twist. Yes, you're turning your chest to the right, that's it. Good, and then inhale, coming back up, and let's come on up with the hands on the hips, and we'll make our way into the gate pose. The hands on the hips, and you want to find a little movement in your hips here. And then we'll inhale the right arm up, and exhale. You can slide your hand down the leg. Just don't put a lot of pressure on the knee joint. And if the foot is in a weird position, you can always turn it out or come up onto the heel. There's a couple of different foot positions. You just come up and over. Good, yeah. Yeah, and Jeannie's got her hand on her head. That's a nice option if you want to place the palm on the back of the skull and kind of use that resistance a little bit to open the shoulder. Beautiful. And then inhale, coming up. Great, and exhale, let's switch sides so we can just come back through a puppy pose if you want for a moment, and then we'll eventually stretch the right leg out. Yeah, good. And then inhale the right arm out, and exhale, thread the needle and come through. Oh, is that your dog? Oh. And then we'll come down onto the head. I find that the most comfortable. And you can come up onto your left fingertips to work with the twist. So we inhale and exhale, gently twist. It's a nice pose to get into the rhomboids between the shoulder blades. Great. And inhale, coming back up. And I forget, did we go? Huh? The gatekeeper, yeah. Parigasana, hands on the hips. Inhale the left arm up. Yeah, and exhale, come up and over. So with every in-breath, you get a little more lift and opening into this left side. And with every out-breath, go a little deeper into the side bend. And then if you like, take the left hand onto the back of the skull. It's really nice to deepen the shoulder stretch. Yeah, looking up towards the ceiling. Mm-hmm. Great, everyone. And then inhale, coming back up. Exhale. Let's come back onto all fours. So we're going to come right into the dolphin pose, clasping the hands together. We'll bring the elbows about shoulder width apart and go ahead and slide your chest forward until you feel the weight come into the forearms and then melt and soften the heart. And so that's going to stabilize the shoulders, right here. Then you go up, lifting the knees. And don't lose that connection of your shoulder blades on your back, the arm bone in this socket. Yeah, and you'll just decide how deep you want to go here. Great. Yeah. So you can either keep working this, or if you want to come down and take a headstand, I'm just going to give you guys that option because it's nice. Okay, so you can either do that one a couple of times, or you can create a tripod with your head, your elbows, if this is in your practice, right? And then you can just come, I'm liking doing a little bunny hop these days and just squeezing in. And this is an option too, just coming halfway. And if you can, come all the way up, stretch the legs up, extend the legs, spread open the toes. And if there's any issues in your neck, you want to have a lot more weight on your forearms to begin with. Over time, more weight can come on the head. So you pick your pose. Yeah, you can be in the puppy pose, you can be in the dolphin pose. Another nice option here is just to come onto the elbows and bring the hands back onto the shoulders here. This is a really nice variation too. Hands in prayer position behind the head. Great. So if you're in headstand, you're welcome to stay a few more breaths. If you're not in headstand, we're going to make our way back to a downward facing dog. Great. And if you're coming down from headstand, just take at least a couple of breaths in child's pose. Yeah. Great. Okay, so how's everybody? How are we feeling? Good? Yeah, this is a nice one to do. In fact, let's just do this together, coming onto the elbows. We'll take the heel of the hands under the chin and then wrap the fingers, first two fingers around the ears. You're just taking your head or your neck into its natural curve, natural cervical curve. Great. And then we'll inhale, come on up. And let's take our left knee here between, we're gonna do a little bit of hip. Can't help it, half pigeon. So take a nice big breath in the beginning to get this opening through the front. Yeah. And then on the exhale, you'll walk it out. Yeah. And another nice position here, just for the cranium, is to take the thumbs right up into the bridge of the nose. And just give a little release there. Soften in. Let's come back to that deep level of trust. If we can trust in our bodies, right, then we can trust in what's going on around us, especially the things we can't control. Back to your breath. Back to that energy of love, which often to me feels like a lot of surrender. These last couple of breaths. Great. And then we'll make our way back up. And I'm just gonna inhale the right arm up and back, and you can follow the gaze with your arm. And this might be it for you, just taking a nice big open twist. Or if your foot's available, take your foot, hug in a little bit, squeeze the midline. And then exhale, looking back. So pay attention really here to your neck and your throat and that hyoid, even if you don't know where that is, okay? It's a little like horseshoe shaped bone in your throat. And it's very much connected to the spine. So it's an important place in our body. So open up that throat. Find that little smile. And then exhale, gently release. Great, we're gonna lean over to the left, rolling onto the left hip. And then we're gonna take the right leg all the way around here and take Vinyasa. So see if you can find both sitting bones rooting towards the floor. Good, and then inhale the left arm up, right hand can stay behind, and exhale, wrap it around either the front or the outside of your knee. And then once you're here, grow tall in the spine, inhaling. And then exhale, twist. Yeah, so the twist comes from inside, inhaling. Exhale. And 2 more breaths, inhale, good. The same thing, pay attention to that hyoid. What's happening in the shoulders? Are you overdoing it or are you kind of finding that middle? Great, and then inhale, release. And we're gonna slide back to downward facing dog. And stretch and reach. And then we'll take pigeon on the other side. Right knee comes forward. Take a big breath here. Open up the heart. Open up to love. And then exhale. So when we find ourselves, this has been my big theme this week, is like when we find ourselves in resistance, especially when it's been happening over and over in our lives, try something different. Like duh. Maybe we find that path of least resistance, right? Which often comes back to love. Loving ourselves, loving our bodies. And the hardest part is, how do we find love in adversity, which is what we're finding ourselves inside of everywhere right now. And take your last couple of breaths here. Deep surrender, deep trust. And then following the next breath out, inhale, we'll walk our way up and sweep the left arm. You can just follow the gaze as the arm goes back and see if your foot's available. If it is, hug in a little bit and bring the left hip forward, gaze off the right. Breathe. So when you meet that resistance in your body, do you resist against it or do you soften into it? Do you stay curious about it? I'm doing that with my husband. Why do I keep feeling this thing with him? Like curiosity. Wow. And then exhale, release, and we'll go all the way over to our right, slide the left leg around. And just start with sitting up tall here. And then you can take the left hand back, inhale the right arm up, and either take it around the front or the outside. Yeah. And work with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. So as you inhale, maybe seeing if you can get a little more space in the vertebrae. How are we doing, Kathleen? Good. Good, and then release it, and let's make our way back one more time into down dog, maybe a vinyasa if you like. Let me check out the time here, going into timelessness. Easy to do when you're in your practice. Good. Excellent. And then let's come down onto our knees, and we'll come up here getting ready for Ustrasana. So knees are about hip distance apart. We'll start with the toes tucked under. And then we just want to place, I like placing the hands here and just getting a little lift up through the side, little farmers, what's it called? The banker's pose. Bring a little Richard in here and there. Okay, so then here is where you find that palate, the opening of the palate, the corners of the mouth gliding back. And then you can come back. And if not, you're just going to stay here. So if it's too much on your back, you can just do the pose here. Otherwise, hands come onto the heels. And inhale, lift to the chest. Exhale, glide back. And find your breath here. Deepening the breath up into that whole front. Good. And when you're ready, leading with your heart, inhale, come on up. Exhale, let's sit back on the heels and just take a breath or two here, hands on the chest again. You can even maybe bring your hands onto your, think about bringing them onto your lungs, top of the lungs or lower lungs or back of the lungs. Take some deep Ujjayi breaths. So full breaths. So you want to stay in this place of breathing, not letting life take us down, right? Heart open, head up high. Like Karen said, not to get bogged down into the energy, right? To awareness is good, but keep our head up high, our hearts big and open. Good, exhale, let's come onto our backs. Yeah. So come into a bridge pose. Let's come onto the elbows and point the fingers up. And you're just going to feel the natural curves in your lumbar, your cervical. Keep those as is. Exhale, press down into the feet. And on the inhale, just float your hips. Come on up to bridge, come up onto the shoulders. And you might want to walk your shoulders in a little bit more, just straight in. And root the elbows to take the chest maybe up a little higher. And the chin is neutral, so you want to find that open throat. Yeah, thigh bones parallel. And then if you like, interlace the hands under the back for the last couple of breaths here. Smile softly, smiling towards your heart. Cultivating resilience within, so that no matter what happens in the outer, we have the inner, which is the most important. And then exhale, release the hands, gently lower the hips back down. Yeah, just take a couple of breaths here and bring your feet a little closer so they're lined up with your sitting bones. Not quite so wide. Great, so we'll do one more of these and I'll give you the choice. You can either do a supported bridge, another regular bridge, or if you feel a back bend In you, you're welcome to do Urdhva Dhanurasana, okay? So either supported bridge with a block, or you can even do it with the heels of the hands under, which is nice. Okay. Or if you feel Urdhva Dhanurasana, a back bend, go for it. So listen to your body in this moment. Let it be your guide into the next movement. Yeah. Yeah, good. Nice, everyone. Great. So if you're in supported bridge, just stay a little bit longer. Okay, if you're in back bend, you can do a couple, and same thing in bridge. If you're just doing regular bridge, you can feel free to do a couple. The other option is to come into fish pose, which is really nice for the head and neck, throat opening. So I'll let you guys decide. We'll have one more minute wherever we are. Okay. Yeah. Great. And if you've come out already, just gently take your knees into your chest. Yeah. Just over the next few breaths, we'll make our way back. Great. And then with the knees together, just gently roll the knees to the left, and try to keep your knees together, right? And then twist over to the right. So right shoulder works towards the floor, anchoring in. If you want to take a little deeper twist here, you can straighten out your right leg, your top leg, take the foot. And then the other, you can grab the other foot, maybe. I can't do it on this side, dragonfly. Yeah. And then bring the knees back together, and we'll go take the knees over to the right side. Yeah, and just try to bring the legs together, and then open your left shoulder. It may or may not come all the way to the floor. Yeah, and if you want to go into the dragonfly, actually it's easier to grab the bottom foot first and then the top. Yeah, so you grab your right foot with your left hand. Kind of a fun little twisty pose. Good, everyone. And then inhale, we'll come back and give a little squeeze in. Yeah, and just actually take a big squeeze and squeeze into yourself. Give yourself a loving hug. And then on the exhale, just slowly take the feet back. Hands on the lower belly for a moment. Maybe a hand on the belly, a hand on the heart. And do a couple of ujjayi breaths, slow, steady breaths. Just feel where you are in this moment. Notice where your state is. Are you able to access a little more equanimity? Perhaps rest back into trust. Be in the boundless energy of love. Just check in. Good. And then we'll just very slowly begin to make our way back into Shavasana. So if there's anything extra you need on your body, you can make sure you're warm. I love this. I love to think of this pose as like the ultimate surrender, like so anything you can do to get comfortable here. Do you want anything for your body, Tara? You got it. Okay. Mm. It's the Purium green drink. Yeah, I do like it. It's kind of grown on me. Hmm? It is, isn't it? Great. So let's just find our way back into the final corpse pose. Mm. Mm. So we lay back and lay down essentially our armor. What are our own little armors? What's the war going in within ourselves? And can we lay down our sword, surrender to that boundless love, and just be held, be cradled? We'll very slowly begin to come back to our breath, and you're welcome to stay a little longer. Just want to bring you back with the Rumi poem. Quote, "Your task is not to seek love, but to seek the barriers you have built against it." So may we look today, really look at where we've built those barriers. And may we choose love again and again. We'll begin to come back through some deeper breaths and some movements in the toes and the fingers, and arms reaching overhead, and just curl your way over into a fetal position on your side for a moment. And we make our way up to a comfortable seat. And just seeing yourself as if you were on the battlefield, and seeing yourself in the middle, in that place of equipoise, being able to see both sides and hold some ground in the middle. Bring our hands to the heart. With deep gratitude, bring the thumbs to the third eye and take a sweet bow. Namaste. And maybe send that love all the way out across the planet as we come back out, spreading the arms wide. Head up high, heart open. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Good. Good to practice.
Thanks, Allison. Thank you, Allison.